Hey, it's Kevin. Welcome back to the Road Warrior. As I've gotten older, one thing I've paid more attention to, one thing I've cared about more, and part of it's because of my age, and part of it's because of the world we're living in. It's about being aware of your surroundings, no matter where you are, what time of day. Recently, we've had a rash of carjackings that have happened at gas stations. And it's not like they're happening at 3 o'clock in the morning. It's not like they're happening even late at night. They're happening at 7 o'clock at night. They're happening at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. They're happening in populated places. And they're happening, number one, because we have a crime problem. But number two, because people just aren't aware of their surroundings. I've always said that if I was at a gas pump and somebody came up to me, I would pull out my gas pump and just start spraying them with gas. Sure, they could shoot me. Sure, they could take my stuff. But I've got a weapon. I've got gasoline. I'm sure if you started tossing gas at somebody's face, they'd freak out. I don't know if it always happens that way, and hopefully I'll never get carjacked. Hopefully I'll never get robbed. Although, as I'm told, like 50% of the American population has now been a victim of robbery at least once in their life. And that's both scary and sad at the same time. And it really is a comment about society. But what they say is the biggest problem is people just aren't aware of their situations. People get robbed when they're leaving a shopping mall because they're walking through the parking lot and too busy looking at their phone and not looking at people around them. And so the criminals take advantage of those kind of people. The criminals are paying attention when you're not paying attention. I've always been one who's been aware of my surroundings and around of my situations. Don't know why. I like to think because I'm an observant person, and it's just always something that's always mattered to me. But for some reason, the world is changing when it comes to how we're looking at life. And that's both good and bad. Some people are more observant. Others are less observant. Some are more trusting. Others are less trusting. It's a very strange and strenuous time we're living in. And it's funny, I'm sure people could have said the same thing about the 60s and about the 1940s. And I can't really tell you because my life experience wasn't the same then. I was around in the 60s, but I was a kid, so it didn't really ring to me. And my parents' life experience, who were all around in the 40s and the 60s and today, well, their life is a little bit different. My father's one who doesn't feel that he's less safe now than he's ever been before. He'll just walk up to strangers and start having conversations. Or with the neighbor kids. And I've warned him, you got to watch out who you're talking with. You got to pay attention to who you're talking with. Because it's not always safe. It's not the world he lived in a long time ago, sadly. Back next week with another Road Warrior, kevinmason.us, the home for all the Road Warrior video blogs. Also on Facebook, also on YouTube. Throw up there every week for you, and love the fact that you keep coming back and showing us a little bit of love, a little bit of 3-minute love. Back next week with another Road Warrior. Be safe, watch out, look out. Thanks.